Hey, hey, this is Off Air, Off Center's own radio show on WCPR,
Castle Point Radio Station.
Stevens radio station. That's it. I'm Jacob, your co-host.
And I am Alex, the co-host.
Yeah, we have, as always, we're sponsored by Soap Inc.
Of course.
And today we have two special guests with us.
Very special.
We did not expect them today, but here they are. You want to introduce yourself, guests?
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Cian.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for coming on. This was planned like 20 minutes before the show, so hope this works. First guest of Season 3, how does it feel?
Pretty good so far.
You guys excited?
Hell yeah.
Good to hear. So, you know, we got to talk about a certain product today.
Mm-hmm.
And that's detergent, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it's definitely detergent.
There you have it. Laundry detergent, correct?
That's what I was thinking of.
That's also what I was thinking of.
Jacob, I'm so excited to be here today to talk about laundry detergent.
I'm excited to have you be here talking about laundry detergent.
So if I could just kick things off, I'd like to mention that I actually did some laundry today myself, and I actually got it just about 20 minutes ago. I picked it up out of the dryer, and it was, just perfectly sparkling clean, just like it always is after a good use of Soap Inc. detergent.
Yeah, that it makes your clothes sparkle, actually shine, gives it metallic properties, and I think that's just one of the benefits of it.
Yeah. I heard that the newest scientific studies recommends that you wash your clothes twice a day using Soap Inc. brand soap.
Yeah, actually, it's dangerous not to wash them twice a day because the metallic properties, they start to rust and build up toxins within the fabric, and if you don't wash them twice, they're going to get in your bloodstream.
And we don't want toxins.
No. So, everyone, wash your clothes twice with Soap Inc.'s brand laundry detergent.
I do that, and I smell great all of the time.
Yeah, it makes you smell good. Why wouldn't you want to wash your clothes twice a day? But I have a little confession. I haven't done my laundry in 2 weeks, so...
Ooh,
yeah,
why is that, Jacob?
Because I just don't have the time. I get scared that if I wash them, I'm going to have to wash them again, so I just put it off until the last second so I could just wash them all in bulk twice.
Jacob, it sounds like you have some serious toxin problems. I would strongly recommend you go visit your local Soap Inc. doctor to extract those toxins from your system.
Yes, that's right. Soap Inc. does have its new medical program where it extracts toxins. It's very helpful. It's saved a lot of lives so far.
Yeah, I think that Dr. Soap's training doctors is definitely a good program.
Absolutely. And as well, we all know Dr. Soap is Soap Inc.'s beloved mascot that's been around for decades and decades.
Yeah, no need even mentioning it, really, but it's just so fun, too.
Yeah, like, maybe you lived under a rock and you haven't been listening to the show, but Dr. Soap is basically a global classic, a universal classic, dare I say.
Yeah, he's definitely been around since longer than any of us can remember, and he's just done so much good for the world. So, Andrew, I'm aware that you actually act in a number of commercials for Soap Inc. How is that going for you?
Oh, it's been going very well for me. It's, pays the bills. I get free Soap Inc. soap, which is the best payment of all as well.
Yeah.
I'm just, it makes me really proud to be able to represent such a marvelous company doing such great work for the world.
That's good to hear. And one of the reasons we brought you in today is because one of the most recent commercials you did was actually for detergent. Could you tell us just a little bit about that specifically? Which type of detergent was it?
This was our new special extra soft fabric softening detergent.
Ooh.
Aside from, of course, its great role of extracting the toxins and making a nice metallic coating on it, it also makes the fabric extra super soft. And you know what? People think, oh, you know what? I'm going to use this. I'm going to have metallic clothes they don't think, oh, it's going to be soft. You don't think this metal is soft. But using our new patented formula, we figured out a way to get all of your clothes as soft as you could even imagine.
Yeah, they have science beyond anything we could possibly understand, and I'm thankful for that because I don't think I could ever figure that out.
Oh yeah, and I haven't actually taken the opportunity to try out the extra softener.
Me neither.
But I did take the opportunity earlier today to just touch Andrew's clothing a little bit, and I can tell you, it's way softer than the softest blanket I have in my house.
I would believe that. But imagine washing that blanket with the extra soft fabric detergent.
Oh, that's just more than I could handle, Jacob.
All comfort, all the time.
That's what Soap Ink promises. Comfort for the average citizen. Comfort for everyone. Because no one should have to live in filth or decay or discomfort. And Cian, you were actually the director of this commercial Andrew starred in, correct?
Yes, there were actually some creative disputes between me and some of the writers. I actually wanted to write the commercial about Soap Ink's old-fashioned soap ink detergent.
Interesting. And why exactly is that?
Well, I'm so moved by the nostalgic scent of Soap Ink's old-fashioned soap ink scented soap ink detergent.
Yeah. Yeah, we all know that familiar smell. That's like what everyone associates with clean laundry.
Yeah, it's like the vanilla of cleanliness.
And
Brings
it
me
does
back.
come in vanilla.
Oh, yeah,
As we all know.
of course.
But you didn't want to mention the fabric softening new brand of soaping laundry detergent. Is that what I'm getting from this?
Well, it's not that I didn't want to. I love all soap ink products.
Yeah.
Soap ink scented vanilla fabric softener soap ink detergent is a marvelous product. It was just, a friendly dispute over which was the best soap ink product.
So you don't think this will have any impact on your career?
Well, I think we've come to see eye to eye.
Yeah, I believe that Cian, despite our differences, has directed this commercial to the best of his ability, and as always, he put his all, and we put an extra time and effort into this commercial. So I still support Cian, and I still believe that he's going to maintain his position at this company for as long as he wants.
It's not about the soap ink actors or the soap ink screenwriters, the soap ink directors. It's about the soap ink scented soap ink detergent soap ink team.
That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. It's all about the teamwork. It's all about the product. You want to put the product first.
And it's all about the customers, really, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the product's for.
Exactly.
But my favorite part of the commercial was Andrew and Cian. This is genius. Andrew was in a laundry machine tumbling around, and I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure how they managed to do that one, because I know that it's actually very hazardous and risky to do that in real life, to actually go inside of a washing machine, especially if the fabric softener is in the machine at the time. So was that something that you guys did with special effects?
Yeah, I
or
wanna know if that was
how exactly
practical.
did you do that?
Well, actually, that was inspired by my childhood. You see, when I was a child, I just loved the soap ink scent of soap ink soap-scented detergent so much
As we all did.
that I would just constantly be trying to crawl into the washing machine. And my mother would have to pull me right out. Once or twice she didn't spot me.
Ooh. I hope you're okay.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, I came out smelling like soap ink soap-scented detergent. So.
Well, I bet
Yeah,
you were the most popular guy in town for that day.
Absolutely.
And, as you saw by our disclaimer, we don't recommend doing that in real life because there are some hazards, but we also wanted to show that our product, our detergent, is so safe, it could even be used directly on human skin.
I see. So you guys actually did... Andrew, you actually were inside of the machine for that? That wasn't special effects?
Oh, yes, I was. I am actually also a trained stuntman, which is how I got the position at Soap Ink in the first place.
That makes a lot of sense.
Well, that was just brilliant directing, brilliant acting. I was convinced, and you pulled it off.
Thanks so much, Jacob.
I was really worried for your safety there, Andrew.
Now, we took some special precautions. I can't give you too much of an insight into our process.
Well, of course.
Company secrets, but we made sure I was safe.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. And I think we should talk about the other scents Soap Ink laundry detergent comes in.
Yeah, that's definitely a good idea. So I think we could start off with the experts. What do you guys? What are your favorite scents?
My personal favorite is scent of spring air, which is one of our more classic ones
Yeah.
because I believe they're, you know what? Sometimes it's nice to have a very distinct scent, and there are some times where you just want to have that nice, clean odor where it's not going to distract other people from, you as a person. Let's say you're going to a job interview, for example. You want the person interviewing you to be focused on you and what you're saying. They want the scent. You want the scent to be a nice, pleasant aura, but you don't want it to be out there so much that they're going to be distracted from your words.
Yeah, I have to agree. I personally I prefer the very similar drifting cloud.
Ooh. I remember the concept for that. Like they had a cloud like constantly floating in the bottle, and like that released part of the cleaning agent.
Yeah, it's just definitely a very innovative commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for me, apart from the Soap Ink old-fashioned Soap Ink vanilla Soap Ink scented Soap Ink detergent,
Yeah.
I was always a big fan of the ink scented Soap Ink
Ooh.
detergent.
No, I don't quite remember that one.
Well, it's got this brilliant scent, like a fresh ink quill pen. That Soap Ink specifically, went out to people who still use quill pens and sniffed their pens and tried to find the perfect scent.
It was more of a niche product, actually. It was marketed specifically to people who were working around ink a lot. Like people in libraries, anyone who is writing a lot, really, just to give, just enhance the aura of the environment, the space they were in, to make them and their customers really feel like they were somewhere that was involved in ink and with people they could trust. It wasn't for the larger base of consumers, as most of our products are.
Also, we ran into this problem where customers wanted us to come up with a soap ink detergent that could get out ink stains, and we determined that that's just not possible. So we decided, why try to mask the ink stain? Why not do a whole wash and make your clothes pure ink stains?
That was brilliant. Like that's never gonna wash out. It's never gonna fade. And
Yeah, an incredibly innovative solution.
Yeah.
When life gives you lemons, market those lemons as Soap Ink scented lemon Soap Ink detergent.
yeah, that's right. The ink scent also had a hint of lemon in it, and that just sold me on it. I actually was a little kid, like fourth grade. I was chewing on a pen, and the ink cartridge
Ooh,
broke open, fell on my shirt, but I just washed it with Soap ink scented laundry detergent, and it just hid the whole stain because there was no stain anymore. The whole shirt was a stain.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. So I guess it's a lot like a wood stain then.
Yeah. I'll talk about my favorite scent. My favorite scent for laundry detergent would have to be Soap Ink's lavender scented laundry detergent. It's like one of the newer scents, but I really like the flowery essence it has. You could really tell they got the right extract for the job, and it really permeates all the clothing and really makes an impact. It's delicate, but it's pure.
Little known fact about the Soap Ink Company,
Oh.
that we've actually heard a lot of similar things. People saying, "Oh man, this smells so good. I just wish I could taste it. I just wish I could eat it." Our research and development team has actually been experimenting with creating candies based on the scents of our products for people just like you who smell the detergent and say, "Man, I wish I could taste this." This is especially important for people with small children at home because you're a very small child.
And
maybe
they can't.
2 or 3 years
Yeah,
old.
that makes a lot. And they're not
Exactly.
old enough to be able to consume soap shakes yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they could smell the product, and then they can, instead of them always wondering what it smells like, you can give them a child-safe candy, and they could have the candy, and they could be satisfied, and not you don't have to worry about them eating something they shouldn't.
Yeah, it's just sugar and the flavoring of the product. There's no choke hazard, and it's much safer than the soap shakes, as viewers or
Exactly.
listeners of episode 1 will definitely recall.
Which, of course, I mean, soap shakes are perfectly safe, but only if you're at least 10 years old.
Yeah. So keep the kids with the candy until they're 10. They have to be mature enough to get into the shakes. But even if you're above 10, like I'm like 20 now. I still pop a soap ink candy now and then.
Yeah, they're definitely,
They're a
definitely
treat.
still good things. Yeah. So, just to bring up another subject for a little while. So, I don't know if you guys have heard about this yet, but NextCorp, which is a subsidiary of Soap Inc., which produces the military-grade weapons that are used to keep any dissenters and criminals in line, is actually starting up a line of civilian weapons. Yeah, including a foldable and very easily concealed handgun, which, it's just some pretty cool stuff because they do a lot to just help keep us all safe. And now they can do it from within your own home. What do you guys think about that?
Well, recently we also, every week it's mandatory, at least for me as an actor, that I attend a briefing about the newest line of products in case, my fans see me in public, so I could talk to them about our latest and greatest developments.
Oh, you're allowed to release that sensitive information?
It depends.
All
There's-
right. That makes
Obviously
sense.
the higher ups make the decisions about what information they can give us. So, like the new line of candies, that's something that, I'm releasing on here a little bit ahead of time as a special gift to you guys before they release the commercials. But, and the guns, I really have to say that I am a big fan of the guns. As I am a fan of all Soap Inc. products. I think that they're great for preventing crime and preventing criminals. They're not going to cause any issues because they're easily concealable. They're going to be great for home defense, and everyone should purchase them. For
And
sure.
that's exactly what this show is all about. Just explaining how soaping products are so safe, so reliable, so perfect for any occasion and anyone.
Oh, definitely. But one thing I picked up on there, Jacob, is you mentioned that you'd actually tried these candies. Were you actually one of the beta testers for this product, and you didn't tell me about that?
I was, because like all our secrets, I was under contract. I wasn't allowed to say it until it was released publicly by Soap Inc. But Andrew spilled the beans, and I thought, all right, so Soap Inc. let him say it, so I guess I can come clean about eating them. You know?
Jacob, I can feel the betrayal of trust right in here, and I'm pretty disappointed.
Well, you know what? Look, as someone who's also under Soap Inc. contract, and I'm sure all of our contracts are different because Soap Inc. cares so much about its employees.
Yeah, and
You know
making things individually tailored to each person.
Exactly. I really feel like, we're all different positions. I don't know if it's per person. I'm not allowed to see anyone else's contract, but Jacob was doing his duty to the company. The fact that he didn't tell you, that's no reflection on you as a person or with his friendship and relationship to you. That was Jacob doing his job for the greatest company on earth.
Thank you.
I
Yeah,
think
I'm
we need to bury the hatchet here and kind of wash these stains of this disagreement off of ourselves with, perhaps some Soap Inc. scented Soap Inc. laundry detergent.
I just think that we should endeavor in the future to include exceptions in our contracts so that we can share information, Jacob.
Okay.
Because
look,
I know I negotiated recently to do that for any future information that they share with me, so I can share it with you.
listen, the guys I work with, they're really hard to make budging on like any issue. It takes a lot just for me to even get the contract in the first place.
That's pretty weird. The guys that I've worked with are always very friendly and helpful. Have you thought that maybe it's you?
It might be. Maybe I'm just not a good enough user of soaping products. You must be a more faithful customer.
Well, you haven't washed your clothes in 2 weeks. That could be
Yeah, that's a
part
good
of the
point.
true.
issue.
Well,
They
it's
could
not-
probably smell it.
all the dirty laundry is in my room. It's not here right now.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, when you've washed your clothes more recently, it still has that clean, nice scent that they wouldn't be getting from clothes that haven't been recently cleaned.
Yeah, that's right. It dissipates in the closet or your drawers or whatever.
Exactly.
That is one of the drawbacks of the regular version of the Soap Ink laundry detergent.
Yeah, as opposed to the extra strength, which we haven't mentioned yet.
No, but extra strength locks in the scent in the fabric so tightly that it can remain unworn indefinitely until you wear it, and it'll still have that fresh scent of cleanness.
Yeah, would either of you happen to know how long that's actually been tested for? Because I'm somewhat interested.
Well, obviously, soap ink has only been around for so long.
It's
So
been
Well-
around for quite a while.
Yeah, although
But-
the extra
but-
strength softener,
yeah.
I mean detergent
We
hasn't
have
been
It's
around.
still pretty new.
Yeah.
we have some very advanced simulations, and we've determined that it should last until at least the heat death of the universe.
At least, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's almost
Yeah.
all time.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
much.
definitely longer than I've really thought about
So-
planning anything.
So basically, your clothes should be clean long after the universe has washed the stains of humanity and its sins out of this great universe.
That's one way to put it, I guess. I haven't quite heard it put that way before, I have to say. What about
But
you, Jacob?
no, but I'm glad Soap Ink's looking out for us, and they want our clothes to be clean even after we're long gone.
Although, I personally, I was sort of hoping they'd do a little more to look out for us, too.
As sponsors, you mean?
Well, no, the human race.
As a human race.
Well, the angle I got on it, because, as a commercial actor, I'm getting a slightly different viewpoint of this than
Of course.
Cian does, is that they are going to last. Well, the information they gave me to try to start thinking about a commercial for it is that they'd last not only for you to wear, but your child to wear, and then your children's children to wear those same clothes with the same classic scent.
So they're preserving the culture within our society.
Exactly, they're preserving
They're
the
preserving
culture.
the generations of tradition, of just clothing of your ancestors.
So they really do care about us. They want to preserve the same memories and have a link between the generations.
Well, that's very reassuring. Thank you. I needed that, Andrew.
And Andrew, you must have done other commercials for Soap Ink, though, right?
Yeah, this is my. Yeah, the extra soft one was my fourth commercial. I
Yeah.
have three
So
other ones.
I don't know how closely you've followed our show. Have you listened to all of our past episodes?
All two of them.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest, that's something I still have to get caught up on.
All right. Well, if you could talk with us about any of our products that we haven't mentioned already, then I think that would be a little enlightening for our listeners. Jacob, could you just fill them in on what we've covered?
So far, we've covered soap and all soap products, including soap shakes. Which, another PSA, if you hadn't had your soap shake today, go drink that. Very important. And the other product we've covered is Soap Ink mouthwash. And you had better have used mouthwash today because otherwise you're breaking the law. So get on that.
Mm-hmm.
My first commercial was actually for a specialty brand of Soap Ink soap,
Oh.
for use on your body. And the reason it was so special is this was meant for people that are going to be out working outside, or athletes who are going to be working out hard all day. It's meant specifically to prevent you from overheating, to prevent a lot of things like oil or salt from accumulating on your skin, and to keep you smelling fresh and clean. So the goal of our specialty extreme soap was that you could go on a run, you go to the gym, you can go work your outdoor job, and then you could go out right on a nice date and you could still feel the same as when you stepped out of the shower.
So from what it sounds like to me, this extreme soap, as you put it, yeah?
Yes.
That it sounds extra evaporative, like it changes the surface of your skin so that sweat and water comes off at an
And oil.
increasing rate.
And
And
I think
oil,
he
yeah.
mentioned oil.
Yes,
It wasn't
oil
really,
too.
water wasn't so much of a concern. That's actually a separate product that we're developing now that I don't even have too many details on myself because it's so early. I'm talking about more things that'll, make you smell like, the oil,
Yeah.
even the bacteria, the salt, which is the result of the sweat drying on your face, things like
It's
that.
antibacterial.
Mm-hmm.
as
has to
all
be.
other soap ink products are. But
Of course.
Yeah, but most of them aren't really designed to maintain any of those properties after you've finished cleaning, which I think is a benefit that he was mentioning specifically here.
yeah, I think that's really helpful. It's gonna help a lot of athletes, a lot of hardworking people.
Or just anybody who's on the go.
Yeah.
You know, if you're just really got to dash someplace.
Or maybe if you even have a little embarrassing sweating issue, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's definitely true. And there's even a medical condition I can't quite remember the name of that can cause problems with over sweating. I'm sure that all these people we've just mentioned are very glad that not only has Soap Inc. brought this product to them, but that people like Andrew are making sure they know about it.
It's actually an interesting story now that you mentioned that special sweating condition, because the reason our product was formed in the first place wasn't necessarily for the athletes or for the people that are out working outside all day, but it was actually a young teenage person that sent, don't really know anything about them. All I know is they sent in a letter to the CEO saying, hey, I have this problem. For whatever reason, I just sweat and I'm really self-conscious about my body odor. And the CEO wrote him a letter back saying, for you, I'm going to make a special product. And that's when the research and development started, and now we have this wondrous product for the world to enjoy.
That is so inspiring.
It's a beautiful story. But one thing I have to ask, that person wouldn't happen to be you, would it, Andrew?
No, I can only wish. I haven't met the CEO yet. It's my dream.
Yeah, we're hoping to have him on the show one day. Like, that's a long shot, but if we could get it, I think that'd be very good for the show and Soap Inc. in general.
Oh, that would just be fantastic.
But Cian and Andrew, you want to talk to us about how you got involved with Soap Inc. in the first place, with you directing and you acting?
Well, I actually have a background in military technologies, and you guys brought up one of my babies, which is the Soap Inc., foldable 9mm concealed handgun.
By their subsidiary NextCorp, yeah.
And when they acquired NextCorp, I was the advertising chair for NextCorp. So what's particularly interesting about the Soap Inc. 9mm foldable handgun is it's completely machine washable. You could wash it with the Soap Inc. old-fashioned Soap Inc. scented Soap Inc. detergent and wash out any stains.
That's perfect, because I can't tell you how many times I put my clothes in the laundry only to realize my firearm had been in my pocket the entire time, and it was just ruined afterwards.
Yeah, and then you have to throw it out, and then you have to get a new one. Or you try and dry it out, and then half the time it doesn't work after you do anyway. It's a darn shame. But
Now,
yeah.
I would like to dismiss any concerns that there might have been some accidents due to the mechanical jostling. Now, due to a particular settlement out of court, I can't speak to any of those cases or the fact that they were absolute liars
Of course.
out to destroy Soap Inc. But there have only been, in incidences of people washing their foldable handguns, only been approximately 10% of the time has someone died.
See, that seems like an overreaction in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like 10%, that's a pretty low figure.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone should be suing or complaining or making class action lawsuits.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, I have to say, utterly ridiculous. And I think that, there's just some things you have to be willing to put up if you want to be able to live a modern, convenient life.
Absolutely.
But thank you for creating such a wonderful firearm. I know I use it on a pretty regular basis, and I don't know where I'd be because I'm always washing my guns,
Yeah, and it's a new product. When did you pick yours up, Jacob? It hasn't been out for more than a month, I'd have to say.
Okay, another contract. I was an alpha tester.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's when, all the rumors of the gun, misfiring when it's holstered or even going off when it was unloaded or with the safety on. I know it ruined a few pairs of my pants, but I think the cases that happened and the casualties that occurred really helped bring it the beta into a new light and, of course, have the final product be safe for everyone.
Yeah, I know when I saw it came out, I haven't purchased one yet. I'm planning on it. I just, I like to wait until products come out and see the reviews and the things like that, before I make the final decision. But now, after having heard all of this, I think I'm ready to go pick one up.
Oh,
Well,
you definitely should.
the
Very,
thing about
very practical.
Yeah, well, the thing about soap ink products is that, at least from my point of view, that you know what, if you know it's soap ink, you know that the first release is always going to be such high quality and such perfection that you don't even have to wait for reviews. You just know, you see that soap ink label and you know this is the product for me.
Oh, that's definitely true. But, at the same time, a lot of soap ink usually has multiple variations of any particular product. And I just like hearing about people's experiences using each one before I decide which variant of their product I'm going to use.
It's best to buy all of them most of the time.
I know I do.
Oh, I would if I was able to afford that.
Yeah, they can get on the pricey side, but we covered that already. And that's better for an economic guest,
I believe that soap ink products are made affordable for any class of people, for any type of person.
Well, it's easy to say that as an actor, but
yeah, making the big bucks.
Yeah, it's true. They do provide, the minimal quality of any product, as we have talked about before with like the mouthwash. But actually, although they are made affordable, you are limited in the scents, flavors, special extra editions. A lot of that isn't necessarily available, although you will be able to get the base version of any product.
Yeah, you'll be safe, you won't be breaking any laws, and you'll just be clean, most importantly.
Yeah, but a lot of the extra fancy stuff isn't necessarily available.
No.
Although I guess you might not have been entirely aware of that, as, you're just, you generally don't really have to worry about that kind of stuff, and that's okay.
I think now's a good time to ID the show because we have to do that according to WCPR. So this is Off Air, Off Center's own radio show on WCPR, Castle Point Radio, Stevens' own radio station. We will get that one day. We were very close that time.
I blame you.
We're here with our guest, Andrew and Cian.
What's up?
Who we never mentioned are also members of Off Center. Is that, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we didn't mention that.
Oh, and I guess we should also plug the show right now. If we forget at the end.
Well, we can plug it twice.
We will. We are going to plug it twice right now. So there's an improv show tonight, Hayden Lounge, 8 p.m. long form. We're gonna have special guests from NYU
and
NJIT.
It's not just these two guys.
Yeah, neither of them are in the show, but we are the co-hosts.
Oh, yeah. Alex and Jacob are both in the show.
Yeah, this is Alex's first time doing long form, as was last night his first time doing short form.
Jacob, I told you last week, stop mentioning that.
I am gonna mention it because it's so cute, and it's a milestone moment.
You know what, Jacob? Your face is cute. How do you feel about that?
I feel blessed to know such a considerate person.
Oh, okay. Well, keep going.
Yeah, so long form, it's like, it's not like anything because TV doesn't really ever cover it. It's
because it's too
it's
good.
The best form of improv.
I say, but they say like, oh, long forms for the performers, short forms for the audience. But I still have a good time watching long form as an audience member. But maybe that's just because I do long form.
But it's gonna be good. We're gonna have special guests, and it's just gonna be a whole bucket of fun. And it's even longer than a normal show too.
Yeah, like expect it to be like almost 2 hours.
Of
maybe.
pure unadulterated joy.
And for free, too.
That's the most important thing. It's free.
And
There's
free snacks.
Free pizza, free drinks.
Free fun.
Yeah. You have no reason not to go. Especially if you're listening right now and you didn't know about it. In like an hour and a half, go on out of Hayden Lounge, have yourself some laugh, some fun.
And if you're listening to this in the future and you never watched the show, find it on YouTube. Yeah.
It's on the same channel this video is on, so it's not that hard to find.
Yeah, so just go ahead and find that and watch it. And the name of the show,
Is lumberjack season.
yeah, and that's why, as you guys can tell, we're wearing plaid right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, you could hear it in our voices. Andrew is too,
Yeah.
even though he's not in the long form show.
Gotta
but
represent.
it's good.
Represent,
Alex just hit his chest.
and then said represent.
They heard they heard that, Alex.
Oh,
You're on a radio show. You should know how it works by now.
you know what? Yeah, but on the other hand, I've only been in the radio business for such a short amount of time, and I'm still picking up some of the ropes. I'm sorry.
Me too. I know. It's both our third time ever being on air.
Oh, I just sort of
off air.
assumed that you'd already had a radio show before this. Is that not the case, Jacob?
That is not the case. I was a guest on season 2 of
Oh,
Off
that's
Air,
like the
though.
same thing.
Yeah. I was on with Dave Orshan, and I barely got to say anything.
Well,
I still
that's,
had fun.
that's not counting Jacob's vast experience as a radio host for Soap Inc.
Yeah. I was a radio host for Soap Inc. It was like a minor show I did in high school. It was not sponsored, but I just love the product so much. I did like a little YouTube vlog.
And yeah, that you showed that to me, and you had some of your friends in it as well.
Yeah. It's a little embarrassing. It was like
Just-
too goofy. Like we try to keep the show professional.
Yeah, but you
Um,
guys were young, and you were a little wild.
Yeah. My friend Mikey, he like dressed up as a cowboy, and he was like, "Yeehaw, buy Soap Inc." And
That's pretty funny that he was dressing up for a radio show
like,
just to get in the spirit.
But as you could tell, like you could hear the flannel, you could hear the cowboy.
Yeah, no, I guess it's not quite the same thing, but I understand.
Yeah. We barely had any listeners. I think only like my mom listened, but it was still good practice. And here we are now,
Yeah.
being professionals, getting paid.
And speaking of getting paid, I think it's a good time to, fulfill our mandatory requirement of talking about something else.
Yeah, I filled our guests in on this ahead of time. But
Oh, that's good because
our
I
contractually-
unfortunately wasn't able to.
yeah, Alex, we got here at 6:01, and we were ready to start. But then Alex like, shh, I didn't curse. He was like, oh
Shoot, I don't
yeah.
have my flash drive.
Yeah, so Alex had to run back and get it. We were like, we're not that late, and then we started a little late, and that's why.
Sorry, listeners.
Yeah,
for
I know,
all of
we
you
let
who are
you
listening
down.
live,
We really let you down. But yeah,
we could have kept it a secret though, and the people listening to the recording would never have known.
I know, but it's better to be transparent. And that was a brief lapse in our otherwise
Perfect.
most professional radio hosting.
Yeah. So let's continue
Yeah,
right
let's
on.
talk about not Soap Inc.
Yeah.
As hard as that is.
Do you want to start us off, Jacob?
Do I? We could talk about the debate we had in philosophy class.
What a fantastic idea.
Because we always just go to philosophy.
Hey, it's a fun topic.
It is. If you have anything to contribute, guest, you can go for it.
I'm
but-
just waiting to hear what this debate was about.
Okay, so as we mentioned last week, we had to write an essay about whether numbers exist or not. Or I guess the prompt was, do we know numbers exist or not? And the class got split into 2 teams, but it was
Well,
actually
3 teams.
3 teams. So there were the Platonists who believed numbers actually exist. The nominalists who believe numbers only exist by name and only references the concepts.
And by far the best group.
The best group, which Alex and I were both on, basically the devil's advocate group, the contrarian group, the weird group.
The group that just tears down the ideas of others while providing none of their own.
Yeah. Anytime anyone said any argument, we look for the smallest contradiction, like, hey, that doesn't add up. We're like, and
Yeah,
we didn't have to
Jacob,
base
so
our claims on anything.
One of the best parts is I spoke up and I was like, blah, 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 and then Jacob was like, oh, actually, raising his hand.
disagree
And
with
then
my
he
teammate.
disagreed with me, even though we were on the same group, and it was amazing.
Well, it's because Alex was saying the grouping of numbers is arbitrary and subjective. But then I said it's not, because if you have a certain number of protons together, that gives matter different properties, and that's an objective grouping of numbers.
Well, I would, as someone who, after hearing what this debate is about, is in the nominalist camp and believes that they only exist as representations, I think that you're kind of straying away from the point that number is the only pure representation. So you could say, yeah, if you have a certain number of protons there, it's not the number that changes it, it's the protons themselves that are changing the properties.
But all protons are the same, theoretically.
Yeah, but if you have, more protons, I mean, I guess.
How does the amount change it, though? That's one of the mysteries of the universe, I guess.
Well, the thing is, if you have 3 protons, and
Yeah.
in normal
You got
everyday language,
lithium.
you understand what 3 protons are, but
That's just
Consider-
so. What you're saying,
Hang on,
Jacob,
hang
is
on.
you're changing the proximity of the protons.
I guess so.
That's
but it's
distance, which is a real thing that
there-
exists.
There's also a different force acting on the strong
Okay,
nuclear
that's also a
force.
different force, but that's not a number.
It's
Like, you could say it's the number of protons, but you're just choosing to group them because they have that force and distance, which are the actual different properties.
I guess you're right. But even in a vacuum, they still act with the same property. So it's not like they can be compared, but I see your point.
I would like to introduce a concept briefly.
Yes,
It's
please.
it's not about numbers themselves, but it's more about language as a whole being a real thing or just being, a representation
Oh, we
of
certainly
real
talked
things.
about that in our philosophy class, too.
Yeah, you should
What are
join
the-
it.
I'm paraphrasing. I guess I could audit it, but to paraphrase a lecture by Alan Watts, you have the sound of clapping, and I could say clapping, and clapping introduces the idea of a certain sound. I say, think about clapping, and you hear clapping in your head if you actually try to think about it, but saying this is the sound of clapping is different than 2 entirely different things.
They were indeed different sounds.
And the point is, the sound of clapping, you could say that, but it's meaningless without having to reference. So, if you can make up words, and those words, I guess you can make the argument that words can just exist independently because you can make up words that have no meaning.
Are you
then is it
arguing
just-
for the private language argument?
Wait, what's the private language argument?
Okay, so let's say you have a feeling and you call it a twinge.
Oh, no, not this.
Oh, yes, this. Wittgenstein.
Listeners, come back in 5 minutes.
So you have a feeling and you call that feeling a twinge, and you have to monitor yourself for that feeling again to know whether or not you've had that twinge. But having that twinge has fundamentally changed yourself in a way that having that feeling again would be a different experience. So you can't just have a private feeling and give that a word and then say that word exists.
Well, the word exists was you just made it up. By virtue of making it up, the word exists.
But nobody else can know what that word refers to.
Okay, well, I mean, the thing is, you just made the word up. The word to you exists. The word as a broader concept existing? No, but at an individual level, I mean, that's also how you define existence. If something
What
is
do you mean as an individual level? Do you mean it exists as a collection of sounds, which
Well, yeah, of course.
obviously it does,
Yeah.
or do you mean it actually has a meaning?
Well, I mean, you gave it a meaning, therefore it has a meaning.
But
That's
it doesn't
But
mean
is it-
anything to anyone else.
And
I-
the meaning isn't necessarily consistent with your own understanding of it
Well,
either.
Generally, in language, you could have different words that mean different things depending on the context in which you're putting. Even, let's say, swearing in general. You could casually swear at someone and they're like, it's funny, you're joking around with your friends.
Mhm.
And you could swear at someone and you could start a fight, depending on the context, depending on the situation. So
Yeah.
really, there are no words that have the same meaning all the time. It's just...
But the difference is
Mhm.
that any given word can have that same exact meaning later, whereas the problem with the private language is the word may never have the same meaning again.
Okay, well, here's the thing. It exists, but does it have a point of existing? And that's an easy answer. Is it meaningful? Does it have a point? No, but does it exist? Yes. That's my take on it personally.
All right.
Then you get into the deeper. Does anything have meaning? Just because multiple people agree on it, does that mean it has meaning, or is it just an arbitrary concept?
And are people
Assumption.
agreeing on things meaningful?
Whereas
These are too big of topics to get
Yeah, we're
into
kinda,
on
like,
an
we're kinda
hour-long
expanding
radio
too
show.
much.
Yeah.
But we got off track.
Wait,
But
Cian,
kinda-
you were trying to say something? You want to go back to that, or you?
No, I
it's
think that's
past.
outdated.
All right.
The problem with philosophy too is if you dig a little, every time you dig a little bit, you always kind of end up back at the fundamental concepts, because it's like, well, if you always have to operate on assumptions.
It's like
and,
digging a hole in sand,
Yeah,
and like you hit the walls, and then they start crumbling in, filling in.
So you don't get anywhere.
yeah, because everything's based on assumptions, and if you don't agree with those basic assumptions, then you just those assumptions are based on assumptions, and eventually you get back to that same set of very basic assumptions, which is very, very high level, and if we agreed upon it, there would be no philosophy.
That's why you need axioms in math.
Yeah.
So you could have
That is
basic
true.
things. You're like, all right, these are true, and then you build everything off of that.
Well,
And
philosophy isn't math, but yes.
unfortunately, it wishes it was math.
That is
No,
true.
Jacob, you wish it was math.
I'd love to have a third class math class this semester. Actually, my other math class just ended because it was a half semester class. But now I'm done with multi.
That's so sad.
I
Congratulations.
know. I'm gonna miss having 2 math classes,
No,
but
you won't.
I'm also gonna enjoy having an extra 4 hours each week.
I'll take them. I'll take the 4 hours. You can just take the class again. It'll work out great.
It's not being offered again. It was for the very special set of freshmen that came in fall of 2015 that started from MA 124.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see those air quotes. I
Yeah,
know
no,
the
I was
viewers
making-
can't.
I was gonna mention it. I was making air quotes the whole time while he was talking there, listeners. So you should go back, listen to it again, and laugh.
Yeah. You should go back and listen to the whole episode now that you had this philosophical light shed upon it.
So. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Well, we're late to call for the show already by 22 minutes. Sorry, Matt. We cleared it with him. He said
Yeah,
it was
and if you're not
okay.
listening to this right now, Matt, I'm gonna be sad.
I'd be very understanding because you have an improv troupe to run.
Well, I'll understand, but I'll still be sad.
Yeah, I'm. Most people probably aren't going to be listening to this.
Briefly, let's go back to the original question about the debate you were having. I think the only good conclusion that we could all agree on from that is that being contrarian is a lot of fun.
Oh,
Yes,
definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad we settled that.
That's
I think-
a true philosophical reality.
I think everybody knows how much I enjoy that.
Yeah. And he's been doing a good job of suppressing it on this show, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not gonna say no? I haven't been.
Jacob, would I lie to you?
Yes. Yes, you would.
Yeah, but not on off air.
I appreciate that. I think we're gonna wrap it up though. So, guess any last words?
Yeah,
Okay, what are
Well,
they?
that was it.
Okay, that's good input.
Well, I wasn't going to reveal this because it's a proprietary company secret, but I just got the email that it's okay.
Oh my god.
This month, we are going to release the Soap Inc. Napalm detergent.
Oh,
For those stains that
my
are so
gosh.
bad that you can't get them out with anything, you can just burn them down along with the sins that you would like to forget.
I am so glad. I've had this like vomit stain on my shirt that's been around forever,
Oh, I
And-
hate those.
and I'm just gonna burn it off now.
Yeah,
Thank you
that's
so much.
a great idea.
Thank you so
and a
Pink.
great product. I'm glad that we had the opportunity to get this helpful input and just to learn more about the inner workings of Soap Inc. from the both of you.
Mhm.
And I thought it was also a little interesting that apparently you're weirdly religious about this kind of stuff.
I just have,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry. Just one little promotional thing to add with the napalm detergent is that we are actually selling that in a bundle with our special repairing detergent, which originally the purpose of it was if you had a little hole in your clothes, you could just put the detergent on and it would repair it overnight. But now we've expanded and improved our product so it could be used in conjunction with the napalm detergent, so you could burn the stain off and you could repair the clothes.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for letting that secret out to our listeners. I think they'll appreciate it.
I think
Listeners,
we'll appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Listeners, go out, buy the new products, buy the old products, buy all the products.
Available October 31st.
I'd just like to give one disclaimer.
Yeah?
We have found in clinical trials that the Soap Inc. Napalm detergent was not effectively rinsed out when Soap Inc. water detergent, which is water, was applied. The detergent just kept removing stains.
I see. So I guess it sounds like what you need to do is you need to wash your clothes another 3 times instead of 2 times after that, maybe, or something like that.
Perhaps, and perhaps several states or countries away, perhaps in the company that dared to rival your market share for that month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a great idea.
Just so long as you're very far away.
Yeah.
And have plausible deniability.
There you have it, listeners. Okay, so that's gonna wrap it up. Andrew and Cian, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Jacob. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure for us as well.
Oh,
So,
most definitely.
this has been
Off Air,
Off Center's own radio show on WCPR, Castle Point Radio, Stephen's own radio station. We did it.
Boom!
We just high-fived.
Oh, yeah, you better. Let's do it right next to one of the mics. Good enough.
We did it. So thanks for listening.
Don't forget to go to the show.
Don't forget to go to the show. We have to plug it again. Lumberjack season, long-form improv show. Tonight, Saturday, the October 22nd, 2016, 8 p.m.
Eastern
Hayden
Standard
Lounge.
Time.
That's
Eastern Standard Time.
that's
Thank
1
you.
hour from now.
Yeah. Free food, free snacks, free pizza, free drinks, free show.
Free fun.
You have no reason not to go. Thanks for listening. We'll see you here next week, same time, 6 p.m. Saturday. And we're out. I've been Jacob.
I'm Alex.
And we'll see you.
This was Off Air.
Get us on your smartphone or tablet with the TuneIn app.